This is Attorney Harold Respishow, and this is the Respishow. Today is Friday night, 7 de Mayo. Welcome back, 2021. And today, here with me, my best guest, Butch B.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo. Ako, enjoy na enjoy ako pagkasama ko si Harold. Napakasayang tao. Parang walang problema sa sarili niya at sa buong mundo at sa buong Pilipinas.
Sana all.
At dahil po he has a smiling disposition all the time. So it makes you relax.
Well, sure. Thank you so much.
Anyway, thank you for having me again here, Harold. At marami tayong gustong pag-usapan. Alam mo naman ako, patanong-tanong lang, no? At kung palagay kung ano kakayanin mo. Because Harold is a CPA lawyer, no? So he knows finance and he knows law. That's a very, very good combination. That's what my father told me. But I disobeyed my father, so I only became a certified public accountant and an MBA. At any rate, marami tayong gustong and by the way, before we start, Harold, nabalitaan ko that the viewers and listeners can now call up directly and we can take you in as we are discussing certain things, and that we can chat with you for a couple of minutes, no? And hear your questions at yan. Yan po ang ating contact number, 0953307210.
And our messenger account is m.me/angatingkatipunan or search Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino. Click the first link that comes up, type in your question, and we will try our best to give you answers.
At pwedeng itawag yan sa messenger account. Pwede nilang itawag yan. They can call us here, no? At
Right.
so, ano bang the last time nag-uusap tayo, Harold, that we talked about the structure, di ba? Itong structure ng ating gobyerno at kung paano nag-i-interact yung mga iba-ibang mga departamento or the sangay ng gobyerno, no? Ngayon, concentrate na tayo dito muna sa judiciary. Ang isang pinaka-critical na sitwasyon sa judiciary ay ang pagpili ng mga miyembro ng Korte Suprema, no? Na ang presidente yata ay anong sistema ngayon?
All right, I'll try my best to answer that, Butch. I think a member of the Supreme Court must be endorsed by the Judicial Bar Council, and that candidate must be appointed by the President.
Judicial Bar Council.
Yes.
Sino ba yung Judicial Bar Council?
Constituted yan ng Constitution na nagseselect ng appointees for the Supreme Court.
Sinong pumipili ng appointees?
Oh my God, I don't know the answer. I'm sorry.
Anyway, siguro, ibig ko sabihin dyan, malamang presidente din ang nag-appoint na siguro ng mga member ng Judicial Bar Council o kaya highly recommended yan. Kasi mayroon din mga senador dyan di ba?
Yeah.
Na by the different bodies. Tapos silang nanghihimay ng mga candidates. Tapos mayroon silang rin-recommend sa presidente. But is the president duty bound to accept the recommendation?
Precisely, it was a recommendation. The answer is no. They can recommend anyone, but the final decision comes to the president.
Final decision. Or the president can say, I don't like your recommendation. I'm going to pick somebody from here and make him the justice.
I don't think so. The candidates must go through the council.
Uh-huh. So, but the president can choose even if they're not being recommended by the Judicial Bar Council, di ba?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. You really throw me hard questions. I'm not sure.
Hindi, kasi hypothetical lang naman po
Yeah.
ito eh, no? Hypothetical kasi dito po sa importante po sa atin kasi ang pumipili ng ating mga kataas-taasan na hukom, no? Dahil kung ano yung karakter ng Supreme Court natin, somehow magbi-filter yan dito sa ating sistema ng judicial system, di ba?
Right.
Kung strict ang ng Supreme Court natin, malamang strict din na itong mga judges. Sino ba nagpipili ng judges? Sila?
Appointed din ng president, recommended ng mga judge din. I think you will need recommendations from judges. I don't know if they go through the JBR also. JBC.
Okay. Well, again, ang powerful naman ng presidente, no?
Yep.
Kaya niyang mag-appoint ng judges tapos pati na din dun sa Supreme Court. And kanya po nakikita ko because I've always believed that there really is a check and balance in our system, wherein the judiciary and the legislative and the executive comprise yung tatlong poste ng isang demokrasya. Pero kung ang pipili ng ating judiciary ay ang presidente lang, baka siyempre yung mga nandito, hindi sila tataliwas sa tingin natin sa kagustuhan ng presidente. Pwede ba yun?
That's a possibility, pero consider also, Butch, yung tenure ng mga judges and Supreme Court justices, they exceed yung tenure ng president. See, presidents only last for 6 years. And then the justices, they can last up to 70 years old. So if they were appointed at 50 years old, they have 20 years to wield their power, so to speak. So after the president who appointed them has left office, they can pretty much do whatever they want. I'm not sure, but well, we can tell na wala nang influence yung president over sa kanila.
Okay. Anyway, yun lang ang gusto ko kasi malaman. Kasi there are people that are not too happy with the judicial system ngayon. Kasi sabihin na natin diretso, no? Marami daw judges that are not very honest, no? And nahihirapan po ang taong bayan, lalong-lalo na po yung mga maliliit. Dahil unang-una, wala na silang perang pangbayad sa mga abogadong malalaki at magagaling. Tapos, ang nangyayari pa, pagdating pa doon sa husgado, yung kalaban nila, normally, yung mga mayayaman, no? Siyempre, kayang-kaya nilang pagpaanuhin yung mga mahihirap. At walang pang bigay ng opportunity dito sa mga mahihirap pagdating dyan. Although meron tayong PAO office, di ba?
Right, yun yung purpose ng PAO office. In general, in practice, kapag merong accused or any party na hindi maka-afford ng lawyer, dediretso sila sa PAO office sa munisipyo and then, hey, wala po akong pera, pwede po ba ng abogado? Yung PAO office, sabihin nila sa iyo, itong mga requirements, dapat meron kang affidavit na nagpapatunay na wala ka talagang income. And kapag nasubmit mo yung requirements, i-represent ka namin as client. Pero, ito'y nagiging problema many times. Kapag pareho kayong mahirap na magkalaban at nauna yung isa, hindi na ikaw pwede i-represent ng POW office kasi may tinatawag na conflict of interest. Isipin niyo isang parang isang law firm lang ang POW office. So kapag client na isa, hindi niya pwede maging client yung kalaban. Kaya yung mga nahuhuli na mga client, usually pumupunta sila sa IBP, meron silang free legal service doon, pupunta sila sa UP, pumupunta sila sa Ateneo, and pupunta rin sila mga private firms, and then nanghihingi ng pro bono. Marami sa kanila ang natutulungan, pero for sure, parating kulang yung abogado para sa mga mahihirap.
Okay. Very interesting. Hindi ko alam yun tama ka, no? Pag POW office ang pinunta nila, pag nauna yung isa, hindi na pwede yung isa dahil conflict of interest.
Right.
Isang opisina lang po, pupuntahan na ng dalawang lawyers. So, mahirap nila yung paglaban, di ba?
Yeah.
That's very, etong naman, dito sa ating mga sistemang maraming naririnig ako ngayon na may mga tao talagang pinipilit nila magkaroon tayo ng jury system. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng jury system?
Alright, parati nyo itong napapanood pag nanonood kayo ng Netflix. Especially yung mga movie about lawyers, may appearance ng lawyers. Yung highlight ng movie na yon, nakikita ninyo parati yung lawyer, nag-i-speech siya. Pero hindi siya nakaharap sa judge, nakaharap siya sa kanan, nakaharap siya sa isang grupo ng mga nakaupo. Yung mga taong nakaupo na yon ay common na tao, pero sila yung nagko-compose ng jury. Ano ba ang ginagawa ng jury? Ang ginagawa ng jury ay nag-o-observe sa during trial, nakikinig siya sa testimony, pinapanood niya lahat ng hearings, in the end, magboboto-boto sila kung mako-convict ba o hindi yung kriminal. Kung guilty ba siya, na pumatay siya o hindi. Ngayon, ang tanong ninyo, ano na ngayon ang ginagawa ng judge? Harold, meron pa rin judge akong nakita sa harap. Di ba siya yung nag-judge? Hindi siya yung nagpapataw ng final na conviction or acquittal. Siya lang yung nagde-determine kung tama yung procedure. Siya yung nagre-regulate kung admissible yung isang evidence o hindi. Kung tama yung isang objection o hindi. I-advise niya rin yung jury na, hey, merong isang ginawa yung isang attorney dito. Pwedeng wag niyong i-consider yung isang witness. Pwedeng wag niyong i-consider yung isang evidence kasi technically bawal siyang i-consider. Pag nag-decide kayo. Ganon yung function ng judge. And then yung jury, bilang common tao, sila ang magde-decide kung guilty o hindi. Yun yung fun na part. And I may add, Butch, I think yun yung mga gustong-gusto ng lawyer kapag nagpa-practice sila. Kung nagpa-practice sila, yun yung na-imagine nila na practice ng attorney. Yun kasi, yung practice na meron kang opportunity na makakapag-speech ka sa tapat ng jury. Ilabas mo yung emotion mo. Medyo i-touch mo yung heart nila. I-convince mo sila, i-persuade mo sila. Kung maawa sila sa iyo at maawa sila sa kliyente mo, okay. Ibig sabihin yan, kaya mo silang i-persuade outside ng batas. Kahit siguro guilty yung kliyente mo kung strictly speaking sa batas, pero kinaya mong i-convince yung jury, mananalo ka pa rin. Unlike dito sa Philippines, walang ganung speech. Walang ganung speech. Very rarely nangyayari na merong oral arguments. Nakikita mo yan sa Supreme Court. Pero sa mga normal case, halos wala kang opportunity na mag-oral argument, diretso submitted kagad. Lahat ng arguments niyo is nakasulat, except kapag may testimony, and then i-cross-examine mo. Pati yung direct examination, hindi na rin oral kasi may judicial affidavit na. So yun na lang yung mga moments na may action na nakikita mo na physical. And yung decision ng judge is based lahat sa law, technical. 1 + 1 = 2. Walang emosyon dapat na involved. So kapag gusto mong mag-appeal sa emotion ng judge, medyo awkward.
Itong ang iniisip ko talaga na ngayon ko lang medyo nai-imagine yung sistema para sa atin. Dahil dito yata lalabas talaga kung sinong magaling na abogado at kung sinong hindi. No? Kung ang jury, normally, how many ba yung jury nga? Mga 20? Kaya
I'm not certain, pero siguro mga 8, 10, 12.
Depende na yan sa ating batas kung gagawin natin yan, di ba?
Yeah.
Ngayon, sinong pipili ng jury? Kasi itong nakikita ko, parang, doon sa Netflix na sinasabi mo, pag napili kang mag-jury, member ng jury, parang sa kanila hindi ka pwedeng tumanggi, no? Hindi ka pwedeng tumanggi unless meron kang valid reason na tatanggi ka, no? It's like a duty.
Duty.
That's right. They call it jury duty. No?
Yep.
So pag nandiyan ka na, na-imagine ko yung lawyers natin, kailangan magpakita ng gilas sa kanilang at conviction dito sa kanilang kaso na dinidefend o pinoprosecute. No? At talagang pag-aaralan nila yan para ma-convince nila ito. Unanimous ba dapat ang decision dyan?
I'm not sure. I think unanimous kapag conviction.
Pag conviction?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I don't know. Majority siguro. Majority or unanimous. I haven't dealt with anything about jury. Ang alam ko lang is general discussions about jury sa
Okay.
ibang bansa.
Dahil iniisip ko kasi, pag civil cases siguro, baka hindi na kailangan ng jury doon, ano?
I would think so. Kasi, I think sa mga criminal cases lang, kapag guilty, not guilty, conviction, acquittal, doon lang sila nagpa-participate.
Right. Now, pero dyan lalabas talaga kung magagaling yung lawyer mo. Kasi ngayon po, hindi ko naman minamaliit, no? Pero gustong-gusto ko itong kaibigan ko dito dahil very idealistic siya. Yung pong mga ibang mga abogadong kayo rin po na-encounter nyo na yun, marami sila magaling, pero ano sila, they always look for compromises. No? They always look how to fix the situation so that everybody will be happy. Happy yung kliyente, happy yung kalaban, at happy din yung judge. Yan ang nangyayari. Pag ganyan, kung minsan, nagsasuffer yung mga prinsipyo na kinakailangan. Kasi nagkakaayusan no? Pero pagdating dito, at hindi na, talking of criminal cases, at hindi na, tawag dito, hindi na, meron jury ang maghuhusga. Hindi naman yung judge ang maghuhusga yung jury, no? So kinakailangan pakita mo lalaga lahat para maintindihan nila. Kasi ang jury, medyo ordinary people yon, di ba?
Yep, common tao sila, lay people from the community, but with good standing.
That's right.
One interesting event, jury event, nung nangangampanya ata si Donald Trump, or nung presidente na siya, I think nung nangangampanya pa lang siya, meron siyang jury duty. And pumunta siya sa, I think, New York Supreme Court. That's the first instance na court ng New York. He pulled up in a limousine and he went there with the grand entrance. But he was one of the juries.
Nag-jury duty siya.
Yeah, jury duty.
Because it was a duty.
Yeah, it was a duty. Hindi siya nag-distinguish mayaman ka man o mahirap. Basta maganda ang standing mo sa community.
Well, alam ko maraming may gusto dyan sa jury system. No? And the way I see it, I think may mga benefits yan. What do you think?
Well, I think so too. Kasi, well, for one thing, lalo na ngayon, kapag binanggit mo judicial system sa Philippines, anong problem? Number one parate. Nababayaran. So, ang jury system, since yung nagde-decide ay maraming tao, mas marami kang kailangang bayaran kung gusto mo magbayad versus sa isang judge. And Alam mo yun, I think para sa akin, ang magandang naitutulong ng jury system is marami kasing mga hindi perfect yung mga judge natin. Sa tingin mo, matalino ka. Tingin ko, matalino ako. Pero sana matalino rin yung judge. Pero hindi sila perfect. And then kapag nagsulat sila ng mga resolutions, hindi precise yung legal basis, hindi precise yung appreciation ng evidence. Kapag hindi maganda yung pag-appreciate ng evidence at hindi maganda yung application ng law, ang sakit niyan sa loob.
Oo.
Ang sakit sa loob. Sa tingin mo, tama ka na, ang sakit sa loob. Lalo na common sense, between sa mga common tao, alam naman natin kung guilty o hindi, alam naman natin kung panalo ka dapat o hindi eh. Pero somehow, nung binasa mo yung decision ng judge, medyo kulang sa facts, ba't niya in-appreciate to? Bakit niya pinaniwalaan to? Mas naniniwala yun. Alam mo yun, ako kapag magiging judge ako, pwede akong magsulat ng isang decision, pwede kong pamanalunin yung isa at pananalunin yung isa. I think kaya ko yun. Depende na lang kung anong facts ang idadagdag ko, ibabawas ko, anong law ang i-apply ko. Kaya kong gawin yun. Kasi I think discretion ko, and ang daming batas, ang daming facts, ang daming lusot. Kung magrereklamo ka sa decision ko, mag-appeal ka na lang sa Court of Appeals o i-certiorari mo ako sa Court of Appeals, bahala ka. Pero in the meantime, I will make this decision. Wala kang magagawa. Pero kapag jury, since common na tao sila, lay people sila, puso to puso yan. Abogado, kliyente, biktima, akusado, mag-a-appeal sa puso ng ordinaryong tao. At hindi lang isa, marami silang ordinaryong tao. So kung i-average mo yung puso nila, ma-average mo ano ba talaga yung common sense dapat nakalabasan ng case. I think mas maganda yung outcome ng cases kapag ganon yung approach natin.
Palagay ko, dapat mag-umpisa ka ng isang movement eh. No? Movement for jury system. No? If it's going to be good for us, good for the country, why not, di ba? At itong kakilanganin natin. No?
Yeah.
At matagal na tayo talagang naghihirap. At we're looking for the real implementation of the check and balance, di ba?
Right. Pag nag-aral ka ng law, parati sa first year merong constitutional law, merong discussion doon about jury. Kapag ano ba yung describe yung judicial system natin? Okay, yun lang, judge. Tapos i-distinguish lang nila sa jury system. Pero wala nang discussion beyond that. And then mapapansin mo may commentary na during deliberations sa Constitutional Commission noon, na-bring up yung topic ng jury, pero hindi na nila in-entertain. Hindi ko rin alam kung saan nanggaling yung idea na bakit ganito yung sistema natin ngayon, judge lang. Whereas, yung ibang aspect, ikinuha na natin sa United States na jury yung system. So, di ko alam, siguro maganda kung meron tayong, tama ka, movement or education about sa topic na yan. Para naman matuto yung mga tao and then somehow, makita natin kung anong gusto nila.
Yeah, exactly. Kasi the way I see it, there are many people already that's dissatisfied with the present judicial system. And corruption is just one of them. But yung sinasabi mo, again, the other one is competence. No? Ang choice of judges, baka palakasan yan. No? At wala talagang galing o walang talagang kailangan na competence ang nandyan, pero malakas siya dito at na-recommend siya dito, naging judge siya. No? Tapos palakasan na yan, paakyat ng paakyat. But of all areas, no, one is executive, the other is legislative. Dapat ang pinakamalinis na sistema ay ang judicial system. Kasi they stand on integrity. No? Nothing else. Wala na. They're not popular. They don't look for popularity among judges. They don't look for ano pa ba? Yung administrative capability to be able to execute the law sa office of the president. But what do they look for in a judge? Nothing but integrity. Yan ang talagang parang pinaka ano yan, na yung poste ng judicial system. At kung walang integrity, sira na. The whole thing collapses no? Yung kung dalawa lang yung pinanindigan, yung third poste ay weak, no? Yung pa naman ang the last what it is? Bastion, no, of democracy. Yun ang huling pinupuntahan ng tao para magkaroon sila ng redress sa kanilang mga problema. No? So, kung wala yun, kaya nakatutok ako palagi dito at gustong-gusto ko i-discuss kay Harold dito kasi ito sa serious problem ng ating lipunan ngayon. What do you think?
I think definitely serious na problem yan. Yeah, I think. Meron lang akong na-discuss kanina sa girlfriend ko kaninang hapon kasi dinidiscuss niya na yung ex-boyfriend niya daw, may frat daw siya. And then, so sa Lasal kasi, bawal ang frat. Pero nag-frat daw yung boyfriend niya kasi yung kuya niya, president ng frat sa UP, ng law school. So, pwede ba yun? Well, kuya niya yun. Anyway.
Kuya niya.
Anyway, so Harold, may frat ka ba? Oh, wala akong frat nun. Bakit? Sa tingin ko, hindi ko kasi sila kailangan. Pero I think valid. Valid na magkaroon ka ng frat. Sabi ko sa kanila kasi nagtutulungan kayo. Ibibigyan ko nila ng material. Magkakasama kayo parate. Pag naglulumpot ka, magiinuman kayo. And then may kaibigan ka sa law school, may kakamain ka parate. Ang ganda ng fraternity. Pero sa point of view ko, sabi ko sa kanila, I don't think na kailangan ko sila kasi medyo busy naman na ako sa personal life ko. And sa tingin ko, sapat naman na yung pag-aaral ko. And true enough, yung mga nag-top sa law school is walang frat. At least yung mga lalaki At least yung mga lalaki. Walang frat. Walang fraternity. And although marami kaming mga top 1, top na president ng fraternity, and magagaling sila, sobrang galing sila, and isa rin yung reason kaya sumasali sa frat. And pero ang isang komento lang doon na medyo parang na-touch yung pulso ko is, kasi daw, ba't siya nag-frat? Kasi daw, kahit saan ka mapunta sa government, kung magka-frat kayo sa same organization, hindi ka pababaya. Medyo nasaktan lang ako doon. Kasi narinig ko na rin yan sa law school na basta sabihin mo lang na magka-frat kayo is mananalo ka sa case. As in, shameless yan, maririnig mo sa law school. Di ba parang ang lungkot?
Malungkot yun.
Meron nga akong isang client na kumuha sila ng attorney sa probinsya and then nalaman nila na pareho daw sila ng fraternity ng prosecutor and attorney. And then suddenly, ang code na sa kanila ng attorney and then yung prosecutor medyo nahihirapan na sila sa kaso nila and true enough natalo sila sa huli. Hindi natin mapapatunayan kung nag-usap yung dalawang yon o binigyan yung pabor yung isa. Pero, di ba, medyo magkakaroon ng konting question mark sa mga resolutions ng mga judges natin and then mga husgado natin. Kung ganun ka blatant yung, di ba? Kung ganun, nagpapakita kayo ng ganung appearances na pwede ninyong makurap. Parang inisip ko, ano yan na, explicit yan na, graft and corruption, hindi ba? Pero naging cultural na, yun ang masakit naging cultural. Tanungin kita, Butch, tanungin mo ako, corruption yun
Of course.
Masama yun
Of course.
Pero ang masakit kapag nag-uusap sila, parang cultural, normal. Oh my gosh, parang ang hirap tuloy lumaban, especially kapag sa tingin mo tama yung client mo, and then tama ka, magaling ka sa tingin mo, and then malaman mo na, oh my God, may obstacle pala, magka-front pala sila, ang sakit tuloy ng ulo mo. Di ba nakakalungkot? Wala na ang justice sa client mo, nalulungkot ka pa. Bahala na, kayo-kayo na lang, sa inyo na ang justice.
Isa pa yan sa dapat panawagan natin. Dissolve ang mga fraternities sa mga law schools. Kasi naalala ko, Harold, kailan lang yung meron namatay na hazing sa fraternity dito sa UST, At nung pala, yung head ng fraternity ay dean ng law school ng UST, So yung mga iba doon nakalusot. Kaya na dilute yung kanilang mga offenses. Umaangal nga yung magulang, no? Pagkatapos na wala na sa mainstream media yung storya, di na natin alam kung anong nangyari sa talaga, no? Pero ano yan no? They protect nga each other. Even if, not just for cases, but also for crimes, no? Dapat nga, wala na yung mga frat na yan na ginagamit nilang basis, no? For getting ahead, no? Magkakasama kayo versus yun nga, what about the merits of the case? Bakit ka pa mag-aaral ng law? Sumali ka na lang sa fraternity at huwag ka na mag-aaral. Yun ang mangyayari.
Right.
Diba? Kakalungkot, no? But again, this did not happen in one day, no? This is the result of a long period wherein such things were being allowed. So if you were, I'll give you another easy question. Ito na yung judicial system, and you are sabihin na natin the Supreme Court Justice, no? The Supreme Court Chief Justice, and you want to reform the whole judicial system from the bottom up. No? What are the general steps to take?
All right. Well, if you want me to reform the system from the ground up, I can be radical here because I have ideas also.
Good.
Imagine mo,
Good.
every time I practice, every time I have to do something, I write a pleading. I always tell myself, there are better ways to do this. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to print 7 copies? Why do I have to write so long?
Okay.
Why does the hearing have? Why do the hearings have to be 3 months in between? What? Yeah. Why do I have to appeal to this judge when we can do it via Zoom? You know what?
Right.
I always compare it with e-commerce. You know, I buy products on the internet, and if you have complaints, you go through a dispute resolution. For example, you bought something with PayPal and then you dispute a purchase with PayPal. So you click button, few sentences, your complaint, and then some mediation, few sentences, answer, and then somebody from PayPal, whom you don't know, gives you the judgment.
Yes.
It's that easy. In 30 days, your dispute is resolved. Can't we do that? Can't we do? I think you can do that in principle, and you can do that with due process intact. Kasi dito, for example, ano lang ba ang mga stages ng due process natin? Dapat may notice. Di may notice, may email naman and may address naman di papuntahin mo sila sa platform. May hearing dapat. Well, may notice nga, di may hearing. Pagdating sa pagpasa ng pleading, instead magpasa ng pleading, I think, ng sobrang haba. Kasi sabi lang naman ng rules of court, ultimate facts, and brief statement of law. Hindi mo kailangan ng ganyang kakapal na pleading, please, kasi ang sakit sa ulo niyan. Ang sakit sa ulong gawin. And then mag-spend tayo ng 3 hearings para lang i-discuss yan. Hey, kaya mo ng isang pleading, dalawang pages, isang pages, ang isang complaint, isang pleading. So kapag i-control mo yung length na yon, doon sa interface mo, maybe online, kasi ultimate facts lang. Ano lang ba ang ultimate facts? Halimbawa, may utang ako sa'yo, so may utang ka, that's ultimate facts. And then, hindi siya nagbayad, then may ultimate facts. And then may jurisdictional fact na nag-send ako ng demand letter, yan. 3 lang ang kailangan mo. Kaso nga lang, kapag nag-pleading ka, yung mga attorney, ang tawag nito, ang tawag ko dito is tyranny of the underachiever, or the inadequate. Kasi you are as weak as the weakest of the industry. So, since lahat ng lawyer, nakikita nila na ang kakapal mag-pleading, kinakapalan na rin nila mag-pleading. Pero kung nag-isip sila, and tinignan nila yung rules, kaya ko pala ito ng 1-2 pages. So, kung may enforce mo iyon, kasi parati rin naman tayong riniremind ng Supreme Court and ng judges kaso nga lang, hindi tayo nag-iisip, gaya-gaya lang tayo Gaya-gaya ka, ang kapal, baka matalo So, kapag i-enforce mo yun online, like sa PayPal, na with in so many characters lang yung ultimate facts mo, and then ultimate facts, and then may pre-trial, di ba? Kasama yung sa due process. I-memory mo lang yun kung alin ba yung disputed facts o hindi. Madali lang tignan yun. O kahit automated nga yun, kaya eh. And then, ano ba ang purpose ng pre-trial? Ibig sabihin lang, kapag may dinispute siya, halimbawa, hindi niya dinispute na may utang siya sa akin, pero dinidispute niya kung magkano binayad niya, ibig sabihin, hindi na dapat ako magpapatunay kung hindi ko na ipapresent yung document. Hindi na ako magte-testify na may document. Isang araw din yun, isang witness din yun. O hindi na rin siya magte-testify ng defense doon kasi nga, admitted niya na eh. So ano lang ang issue? Yung amount. So ano lang gagawin ko? Kahit nga mag-usap na lang kami, upo na lang kami, wala nang testimony, wala nang time. Mag-stipulate na lang kami, magkano, doon yung pre-trial. Ibig sabihin, doon na lang, mag-stipulate na lang doon. So ibig sabihin, ang ngayon, ang nangyayari kasi, since hindi nagme-marry yung issues, ang daming issues, there are as many witnesses as there are issues. So, kung as there are ultimate facts, kung meron siyang 8 na ultimate facts, 8 din yung witness ng isa, tapos 8 din yung witness ng defense. So, anong mangyayari? Tingnan mo kapag nag-schedule yung
Ayusan.
Yeah.
Ayusan ng pinupuntahan niya.
Yeah. And nakita mo kapag nag-schedule yung court ng hearings between witnesses, tigda dalawang 2 months in between. So, 8 times 2 months. And then 16 times 2 months. So, ilang year yung dadaanin ng civil case mo. Sobrang tagal, di ba? Pero if you do it that way, may notice, may hearing, may trial, gagawin mo medyo automated yung marrying ng issues. Ano lang yung issues na patunayan? Kailangan pa ba ng testimony or pwede natin stipulate yan based sa document? And then, ito yung critical. Yung magja-judge, dapat is hindi mo alam na nasa likod. Hindi mo alam na nasa likod. Yun yung critical. As a matter of fact, yan yung purpose. Kapag nag-file ka ng case sa prosecutor or sa civil courts, meron tinatawag na raffle.
Raffle.
Kaya rin na raffle is para hindi mo mapili yung judge mo. Ang problema sa raffle is malalaman mo kung sino yung judge mo at the start of the proceedings and therefore,
Ayos na.
Pero kapag hindi mo alam during the proceedings, so hindi mo alam, kapag hindi mo alam kung sinong ikukurap mo or ang kailangan mong influence. So therefore, yung likelihood, I think, ng pandaraya kapag ganong process, automated, medyo advanced yun, di ba? Super advanced. Sorry, Butch, tinanong mo ako eh.
Hindi, tama. I mean,
Ang dali. Imagine in 30 days. Imagine, just do it yourself. Magbili kayo ng PayPal, i-dispute ninyo, kayang gawin yan, kaya mong gawin dito sa Philippines. If you just want to do it.
Well, tama ka, no? I mean, of course, it would need the system is the same. It's just that you're going to be using technology to hasten it, right?
Right.
Pero yung mga things like, example, when a decision is made and the person in whose decision is against, they are allowed to do a reconsideration, motion for reconsideration. But they're given a specific amount of time. There are two things that we always have a problem with. That the mail service that is used takes longer or arbitrarily different. Others, they can get it in 1 day.
Right.
The others get it in 1 month.
Yeah.
And then lampas na dun sa period stipulated for an MR. No? So this is where the use of the new technology is going to work, di ba?
Right. Sabi nga nila, what is the worst company anywhere? In any country, sabi nila parati yung post office. Alam mo kung bakit? Sobrang kulelat parati lahat ng delivery, mali-mali ang delivery, hindi reliable. And you know what's worse? Hindi sila nababankrupt. Kasi sinusuportahan pa rin ng gobyerno yung inadequacy nila. Okay lang yung mga normal na company, bad sila. Pero namamatay sila kasi nawawalan sila ng customer at nawawalan ng kita. Kasi bad sila eh. Kaso nga lang ito, perpetuated na bad.
Right.
So, post office, personally speaking, nagde-deliver parating registered mail. Registered mail parati yan, registered mail. Okay, registered mail. Reliable bang registered mail? Hindi. Sa firm namin, hindi kami nakaka-receive ng registered mail. So what we always do is call the court kung merong updates and then we go sa post office para mag-claim ng registered mails. Kapag ang na-claim namin na registered mail at any one time is ganyan kakapal. Ibig sabihin, hindi nila dinideliver sa amin yung registered mail. And ang masakit pa nito, I'm sorry, babati kasi ko ba? Yan yung mga paraan na nakalagay dun sa rules of court natin, paano mag-service. Maganda sana yung email service. Doon na yun. Maganda sana yung commercial courier service. Maganda yun. Kaso nga lang, pwede mo na bang gawin yung commercial courier? Hindi. Kasi merong isang qualifier na nakalagay, accredited commercial courier. Meron na bang accredited commercial courier? Wala pa. Wala pa. So, hindi ko alam, pero kami ginagawin na rin namin, nag-LBC na rin kami, DHL, lahat-lahat, para lang mapabilis. Pero nag-cross kami ng fingers na hindi i-question ng kalaban at hindi rin i-question ng court. Pero so far, wala namang kalaban na nag-question, wala namang court na nag-question. Pero pwedeng i-clarify, pwedeng gawin yung accredited para madali nang mag-mail.
Right.
Mag-mail sa accredited courier. Yung email naman, pwede rin sa email, kaso nga lang merong requirement doon na dapat with approval of court or email of record. So, isasubmit mo pa sa court. Eh, yung mga court naman, kung minsan, or in my case, so far, lahat sila hindi nag-ask formally ng email address for the purpose na dun i-serve lahat ng court papers or by which is to serve mo yung papers sa email ng court. Therefore, medyo na-hesitant ka na gawin yun. Baka ma-technical ako, baka isipin nila na hindi ko na-file o hindi ko na-serve. So, ang ginagawa namin ngayon, super inefficient. Tatawag kami sa court, ano po email nyo? Ito email namin. Tapos sabihin namin sa court, ito po email namin. Pero wala nasa record na yun ang email namin and wala sa record na may agreement kami na mag-serve vision kami, magpa-file kami using those email. Wala. Pero every time na mag-email kami, email namin sa kanila, tatawagan nila, uy, ma'am, pwedeng pa-acknowledge na receive nyo na po ba? And then, on the same day, magre-registered mail kami, yung unreliable, alam namin hindi yan darating hanggang second month, pero at least napasa ko na sa'yo. Pero i-registered mail pa rin namin para lang ma-meet namin yung requirements ng rules of court.
Tingnan mo, all of these processes, no, showing inefficiency talaga in the whole system that we have grown into, and the new lawyers that are coming in are not told about these things, these inefficiencies. They're not told. They're not trained for that. No? Pero pagpasok nila ngayon, it's a shock. Nung pala may ganito, ganyan, tapos nadidelay and all of that sort of thing. Pero ang reform na yan, Harold, where does it start? From the Supreme Court or from the legislative?
Oh my gosh, sorry. I think nakakota na ako ng I don't know sa'yo tonight, you. I think if you come to think of it, I think sa ibang bansa United States, kahit marami kang criticisms na pwedeng iba to sa kanila, makikita mo na fairly ang ganda ng administration ng justice to. And compare mo yung system nila yung system natin, more or less the same. So, saan natin makikita, saan natin ipo-point yung weakness? Ito, I will venture a guess. Merong isang principle na nagsasabi na merong yung propensity ng mga tao na mag-commit ng violations or crime is dependent sa likelihood, impression nila ng likelihood na mahuli sila. Okay? I think dito sa Philippines and then at least sa judiciary, merong perception na hindi ka mahuhuli. Therefore, na-develop yung culture na hindi ka mahuhuli. And therefore, naging systemic yung culture na, hey, ginagawa naman niya, hindi siya nahuli. So, gawin ko na. Hey, ginagawa niya, hindi niya naman siya nahuli. So, gawin ko na. So, ganun ang nangyayari. Imagine mo, nasa isang position ka of power. Judge, prosecutor, or kahit clerk of court, or kahit staff ka, tapos nilapitan ka ng isang tao. And sabi niya sa'yo, give you 5 million, ito ang gawin mo. Tapos tingin-tingin kang ganyan, no, pwede mong sabihin, wag. Kung maprinsipyo ka, pwede. Pero kung narinig mo yung kasama mo, hindi siya nahuli na gawa niya na dati. Yung isa nagawa niya rin dati. And then somehow kapag nag-uusap-usap kayo, parang cultural, systemic na, oh my gosh, parang accepted pala. So ikaw, medyo maapektuhan yung honor mo. And sasabihin mo na, oops, ibusa mo na. Nakurap ka na, kahit ideally, ayaw mong makurap. Kasi pera din yan eh. Hindi ka naman mayaman, malaking pera yung 5 million. So I think dahil sa, yun yung sagot. Pero kapag nag-umpisa tayong lahat na ma-apprehend yung mga taong yun, I think magiging disiplinado tayo. May disiplinado tayo. Kaso nga lang, sino yung nag-apprehend? And sino yung nag-enforce ng apprehension? Sino yung nagpo-prosecute? At sino yung nag-judge ng prosecutor? Kung sila mismo ay hindi diligent sa trabaho nila or kung sila mismo ay may culture ng ganong indolence or hindi ring maganda. I don't think na ma-change yung system.
Tama. Wow. Nakaka-nosebleed, sabi nga nila. Dahil you can see that there is something very, very wrong. Pero hindi mo alam ma-pinpoint exactly kung saan dapat mag-umpisa yung correction at kung sino. No? We already have a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, but we know that it's not going to start from him. I mean, considering the personalities that are para silang nagre-regodon dyan, no? What kind of a system can be started by one Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and how do you know that the next one, who will come up 1 year after he serves as the Chief Justice, the next Chief Justice comes because he is supposed to retire, gagawin din yon, di ba? So, and yet, ang gusto mong reform is really something that is endemic. Nandyan na yan, nandyan, malalim ng ano yan. At gusto mong i-correct yun. So, dito ka, ikaw yung head ng judicial system, gusto mong palitan dito from bottom up, pero yung susunod sa'yo, hindi niya kakayanin. Napupurnada lahat yung gagawin, di ba?
Right.
But, siyempre, whenever it's that bad, Harold, my mind starts thinking about what do you call this, extrajudicial or something. If you were to start a country, no? If you were to start a country from scratch, okay, what will you do?
Alright, meron ako, I presume na insofar as judiciary is concerned, I went to Pampanga 2 months ago, not during lockdown, 2 months ago to meet my longtime friend from LaSalle. I just missed him. And then we spoke about my career and then his undertakings. And then I told him na, so how's practice? I told him na, it's alright. You win, you lose, it's alright. But you can look at, and then he asked me, I have a problem. Somebody gave me X amount of money through check, and then it bounced. Well, should I prosecute? I told him, no. I told him no. Why? You can look at it this way. Right now, dahil sobrang liit ng cheque na yan at sobrang mahal ng proseso and sobrang tagal ng proseso, ang mahal ng mga lawyers, and then hindi ka pa sure panalo, and then may stress ka pa, mag-aaway pa kayo nag-issue niyan, in the end, hindi ka pa siguradong mananalo, diba, nagbigay lang sa'yo ng sama ng loob. Babay na. Admit it as loss. On the other hand, pwede mong isipin yan. Parang buyer beware or caveat emptor. Ibig sabihin, kapag isipin mo na lang na ganito, na walang judicial system. Instead na isipin mo na yung judicial system is inadequate and masama ang loob mo and malulungkat ka and iiyak ka and then pupukpukin mo yung judiciary and then magrereklamo ka, isipin mo na lang na it doesn't exist. Yan yung isang school of thought, sabi ko sa kanila, para hindi ka malungkot. Caveat emptor yan, kasalanan mo. Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi hindi mo due diligence yung nagbibigay sa'yo ng cheque. Hindi mo siya kilala, tumanggap ka ng cheque and then nagbigay ka ng thing of value. So kung niloko ka ng taong yan, kasalanan mo. Yun yung isang school of thought. So pwede mong tignan yung judiciary from those two perspectives. So on one perspective, pwede kang malungkot. On the other perspective, pwede mong tanggapin na malas ka lang, unfortunate ka, unlucky ka. Babay sa pera, tangengots lang ako nung naipagdila ko sa tao.
And then yung third perspective, gulpihin mo na lang.
Gagawin mo na lang. Kung walang executive na huhuli sa'yo. Gugulpihin sa'yo. In return. But,
actually, yung third perspective na yun, ang palagay ko, ang dalas mangyari ngayon yan. No? Kasi maraming ganyan na hindi makabayad. Tapos, pumupunta sa mga loan sharks, di ba? Di makabayad. Yun ang mangyayari. No? At any rate, very good. I'm so interested with our discussion. Kayo po, kung meron po kayong gustong itanong, the telephone numbers that we have before we still have quite a few minutes. The telephone number we have is 0995-330-7210. Ulitin ko po, 0995-330-7210. No?
and if you want to message us or call us, you can use this messenger account m.me/angat ang ating katipunan or search Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino. That's the first link that comes up.
Okay. Yeah. Another thing, so we are here in a reform. Kanina sabi ko, if you do not have a country and you want to set up a country, are you going to go through the system of, three pillars of a democracy?
Alright. Okay. Well, I would go with Milton Friedman on this one, Nobel Prize winner. Medyo libertarian. So, ang gusto niya lang sa isang country is meron ka dapat force. So, that's the defense.
Okay.
Judiciary, okay. That's para hindi kayo mag-away-away, meron dapat magja-judge kung sino ang tama sa inyo.
Okay.
Yun lang ang gusto niya. Ibang aspect, wala nang regulation, pabayaan mo yung market na i-regulate yung sarili nila, caveat emptor, bahala kayo kung ayaw nyo. Pero, kung masyado na yung awayan ninyo, pwedeng may judiciary na pupunta sa pagitan ninyo. And kung away-away pa rin kayo, meron pa rin military na I think lalaban sa labas, mga foreign invaders, and then I think gusto ko na meron din dapat silang capability na lumaban sa loob. Ibig sabihin kapag nag-away tayo, yung tropa mo, tropa ko, nag-away, dapat capable ang military or military/police na i-regulate yung relationship
For
natin.
law and order. No?
Yeah. So judiciary naman, pagdating sa judiciary, Butch, if I may finish. Just follow yung discuss ko kanina na medyo radical na online na remedy. I think it will work beautifully. And then if we have strong military like the United States, like that, hindi magloloko-loko yung mga kapitbahay natin at hindi rin magloloko-loko yung mga tao sa loob. So walang mga mandurukot, walang mga hold up, walang mga gang, walang mga sisiga-siga na mga kung ano-anong grupo dyan na may baril. Diba?
That's true. Well, that's great as far as the basic systems are concerned. But on the economic side, maybe we can discuss that a little further. Kasi economics plays a big part of that whole system. Kasi economics will determine a lot of conflicts also in society, no? And the role of government in this particular case. Pero itong nangyayari ngayon sa atin, gusto ko lang balikan na present para mahila natin dito sa ating sitwasyon ngayon. Meron na umiiral na issue tungkol dito sa mandatory vaccination. No? That's one. The other one is mandatory. Then the other one is the the role of government, no, to prevent what is perceived to be curative, no, by many doctors, preventing it and instead pushing mandatorily the vaccination. Do you see any issue of law here?
Yeah, I can see an issue of law, at least one. I-compare mo ito sa issue ng abortion. Abortion sa states. Landmark issue yan. Mapoforce mo ba yung woman na i-carry yung bata niya? Yung baby niya sa loob? Mapoforce mo siyang hindi magpa-abort? Sabi ng Supreme Court sa states, hindi. Kung gusto niya magpa-abort, pabayaan siya magpa-abort. In general. Alright? Kasi, katawan niya yan eh. Pabayaan mo siya. Katawan niya yan eh. Ngayon, dito sa Philippines, ang isang argument I think na napepedal is, since katawan ko ito, sa tingin ko, ano itusok niya yan? Naniniwala man ako o hindi sa efficacy ng injection na yan, scam ba yan o hindi, nakakalason ba yan o hindi, mamamatay ba ako dyan o hindi na yung mahalaga. Kasi ayokong galawin mo yung braso ko. Kasi sa totoo lang, sincerely sa puso ko, baka mamatay ako dyan eh. Masama bang magsuspect siya? Yun ang paniniwala ko eh. Masama bang yun ang paniwalaan ko? Tapos pipilitin mo akong maglagay ng lason sa katawan ko? Parang, parang compulsion na yun.
Tsaka walang recourse.
Oh.
Kung mamatay ka, wala kang makahabla. You cannot go.
Well, precisely because you're dead.
No,
Because you're
ibig
dead.
sabihin, yung mga kamag-anak ko, walang makakasuhan. No.
Yeah.
Kung may nangyari sa'yo.
Yun yung basic principle, I think, na magkaka-issue tayo. Although sinasabi nila, meron daw batas na kapag so pinupush ng mga nag-i-import ng mga vaccines na, hey, hindi ko ibibigay itong produkto na to until mag-pass ka ng law na hindi ako liable kapag may namatay or kapag may adverse na
Yan nga. Yun ang nangyayari. No?
Diba?
Yung ang tawag dito.
Non-recourse?
The other one is without recourse. The other one is basta walang sala. Walang sala ang gobyerno, walang sala yung manufacturer. No? Pero yung lang, just as an aside, Harold, the example you gave on Wade versus Roe yan, no? Yung sabi ng Amerikano that the woman has a right to abort because that's her body. The reason I'm not too comfortable with the example was because we consider the baby as not having any rights at all. No, the infant. No, and again, this is not a moral issue. This is a scientific issue. That the baby, the moment it's very, very controversial. No? Although pinanalo ng yung namatay na judge na babae, what's her name? Ginsburg. No? Although she was acknowledged to be the heroine on this, but mabigat din ang kanyang responsibilidad dun sa kanyang ginawa because it does not yet some consider it a moral issue, but the others consider it a scientific issue. Meron ngang so but I agree that there is a right, ang basic human right to life, no, right to freedom, no, and
Life, liberty, and property.
The
Pursuit of happiness.
pursuit of happiness. No? So, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Pero comparison, life no? Sabi nga ng presidente, it's my life. No?
Ano yung Bon Jovi? It's my life!
Oo nga. No? Yun daw yung kanta. Pero sabi niya, it's my life. Wala kayong pakialam doon kung ano ang gusto ko para sa akin. Exactly, Mr. President. No? It's your life, but it's also our life that we're protecting. No? we don't want the vaccines. If those people don't want the vaccines, wag mo naman pilitin. At wag ka naman gagawa ng paraan para mapilitan sila, no? Kasi gagawa daw sila ng condition, hindi ka makakapasok sa restaurant kung hindi ka nakabakuna, no? Hindi ka mga ganyan, no? Which is a form of making that thing mandatory, even the children. Pero I'm with you in the sense na sinabi mo, it's the right. Kung ayaw mo, maski na merong 50% chance, maski na 10%, 1% chance na mamamatay ako dahil dun sa vaccine, kung ayaw ko, no? Di ba? Besides, that's now what is being hotly debated. But I'm glad you pointed it out, no? That it's a basic human right.
All right, if I make a prediction, or maybe, how would the Supreme Court decide the issue if it were brought up? Well, I think in general na framework ng law na i-apply dyan is police power. You can curtail, to some extent, some rights on the basis of police power. Meaning, if you do something for the purpose of the public good. So here, the public good is, public welfare is safety of your neighbors. And so they can curtail your right to happiness or to control yourself, control your life on your body. And jurisprudence in the Philippines tells us that what is the standard of public good or public welfare? Basta, sabi ko sa inyo, basta may nakagip na hangin na parang public good o public welfare. Yun na yun. Pwede yung police power na.
Ganyan ba?
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's not like that at all. But again, that will be very difficult to decide, I think. Because when you say safety of your neighbor, no, that's why kailangan magpabakuna ka, no. It is generally known, even the World Health Organization admits that the moment nagpabakuna ka, ikaw yung carrier. Kasi you carry the virus. That's why that is what the bakuna is. No? And then if I am not infected and will near each other, I am the one at risk. No? Not you, because you're na bakuna na but you're the carrier. No? This is the problem with that. And it doesn't take too much genius for this, no matter how incompetent the judges are, I think. But I'm sure they can see those types of arguments. And I would like to see it. I would like to see precisely an argument in the Supreme Court for this to be brought out. Kasi meron ng mga tao ngayon that are preparing class suit ba yung tawag doon? Class suit dito kila Secretary Duque on this vaccines, no? At titignan nila how it's going to prosper. So it's already 1 hour. It's time to read the text messages sent to us by our listeners.
All right, should I do the reading?
Yes, please.
All right. Wilfredo Openiano, good evening, Attorney Respishow, Prof. Butch Valdes. Good evening to. Nagtataka nga po ako na naitalaga na Chief Justice binansagan pang hukom BITSI ay si CJ Peralta ni hindi ko po balitang nagsalita lalo na sa kaso ni BBM. Mapalitan na wala pa rin po narinig nagsalita o nagpaalam man lang. Ano yun, robot turukan lang?
Alright. Yung BBM si Bong.
Okay. Panahon na ang judicial system ng Pinas ay baguhin. Naiksihan ang araw ng proseso, patay na complainant. Wala pang desisyon yung kaso na nilubog niya. Hindi ba ganun mangyayari, Attorney Respishow? Patagalin, patiyagaan, ubusan ng pera? That happens more often than you like. Glenn Buwan. In the news, PRRD orders police through DILG to arrest violators of the mask, face shield, and distancing protocols. Police and several LGUs threaten to arrest, detain, and fine violators. Aren't these violations of our basic human rights, individual freedoms? If it is, what legal remedies are available? Where can we go? All right. I feel like I should answer every time we ask questions.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If they arrest someone, the arrest must be based on an offense in law. So if they arrest you for not wearing a mask or for doing this or doing that, it must be doing this or doing that, and not doing this must be an offense under the law. So if they say they want to arrest you for not using face shield, not doing distancing, and not doing the mask, there must be an offense in law prohibiting or ordering, prohibiting the removal of mask and ordering the wearing of face shield. And these violations of our basic human rights, it is not a violation of human rights if it is commanded by law. If it is, what legal remedies? Legal remedy, if you think that the law itself is invalid, unconstitutional, you sue at the Supreme Court for judicial review of the law. Do you think the rules of court should be amended to adapt to the current times? Well, I think that the rules of court is a beautiful document. If it is implemented, given our technology and the facilities we have and the number of people we have, I sincerely think that we have more people than we need. The rules, court proceedings will run beautifully. But if you want to make it better, sabi nga nila, well, you can make it better. But, the ideal is the enemy of the good, of the pwede na. So ito, rules of court natin, pwede na. Ang problema is sa kultura and implementation.
Harold, etong utos ni PRRD, no? Pag in-order ba ng presidente yan, is that the same as a law?
Hindi. President executive cannot write laws. Only the legislature.
Therefore, yung call niya to arrest these people is against the law.
It is against the law if the arrests happen. Pero yung call niya is, I don't know.
The call by itself is not. Pag nag-arrest sa inyo, it is against the law.
Yeah.
And you better get your lawyers ready already. No? Kung meron nag-arresto sa inyo na ganyan.
You know what, my cousin in the province, Isabela, was arrested for not keeping distance.
Mm.
Not keeping distance. He was acquitted. Anyway, let's go down. Sailaline Miles. Gandang gabi po mga sir. God bless po. Watching from Valenzuela. Good evening, ma'am. Anacela Watson. Oh, nice last name. Mabuhay po kayo, sir. Benji Castro. Good evening po, sir. Butch Valdes. Watching from Ibahay, Aklan. God bless po sa lahat ng narito. Good evening po sa inyo. Lahat, marami akong natutunan dito. Alright, thank you so much. That's nice. John Cyril Onato. Nice name, Cyril. Good evening, Sir Butch, Attorney Harold, and people here watching here from Capiz. Yan ba yung maraming aswang? Ang nakakalungkot, justice system natin sa ating bansa, puro mga mayaman at mga oligarko ang laging absuelto. Pero pag ordinaryo at may hirap na tao, doon na nila ginigipit at kinukulong. You know what? Yung mga super yaman, I don't think that they even go through the justice system.
Oo.
I think that before the case even starts, it's finished.
Tapos
It's finished. It's sad that you witness that and then you see yung ordinaryo at may hirap na tao na nagduruso sa ang papangit na jail natin. Na sobrang nakakatakot na jail, na meron pa mga prostitute na labas-masok at may bayaran kung masarap ba ang ulam mo o hindi. O kung may electric pan ka o wala. At nakakatakot talaga at ang init. Lahat ng lalaki nakaubay. So imagine mo yun, you have to suffer that. And then, there is this segment of our society na sarap ng buhay. Owner 6745, may jury ba sa Pilipinas? Wala. Wag na mag-jury sa Pilipinas. Puso areglo dito. Walang dignidad. Bayaran lang mga jury na yan. Pwede rin mabayaran yung isang judge. And jury is many judges. Attorney, paano kung mag-isa lang sa buhay yung taong nakasuhan, walang mag-asikaso sa kanyang kaso? Sino magpo-provide ng abogado sa kanya? Sadly, dapat siya mismo kung mag-isa lang siya. Hindi ba niya kayang asikasuhin yung sarili niya? Meron din provision sa rules of court kapag incapacitated ka or namatay yung taong nagkahabla. Usually, yung nearest of kin ang magte-take over as party. Pero kung witness siya sa isang crime, wala na tayong witness. Kung walang witness, patay na yung eyewitness, wala nang nakakita sa krimen, patay na rin yung kaso. Attorney, paano kung hindi agree yung judge sa decision ng jury? Pwede niya ba yun salungatin? I cannot venture an answer kasi hindi ko alam yung system mismo, but I don't think so. I don't think na he can make a decision himself, but maybe he can invalidate a decision and then ask for another decision. Pwede. I think that's the worst case. Baka yung alumni ng frats nag-establish ng connection para mapasok sa trabaho. Tama ba, attorney? If that's what you think, I don't know. I'm not really sure. William Yaguno, good evening mga sir at sa mga narito, mga kasama sa KDP. Nagtataka nga po ako ng naitalaga na Chief Justice bilang saganpang hukom si ICCJ Peralta ni hindi ko po balitang nagsasalita. Alright, tapos na.
Tapos na yung kanina.
Anacela Watson, hey, you greeted me already. It's alright. Alam nyo sir, ang bottom line dahil ang humanity disaster at walang integrity kahit anong system, wala din. Sana awake ang mga humanity or Filipino at binabantayan talaga ang dishonest na government. Marisa Buyaw, watching from Hong Kong, we are learning legal matters here. Really? Dora Vega, good evening mga sirs. Hey ma'am. Arlene Kayabuyab, good evening everybody. Francis Tapia of Lena, magandang gabi po. Chairman Butch, Attorney Harold Respishow, watching KSA Jubail. That's Saudi.
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Alright. Agree ako sa ideya mo, attorney, ang ibang abogado at mga justices gusto and delay para malaking kita. Ouch. I'm one of the abogados. Am I guilty? Alright. Remy Zapata Montemayor, magandang gabi po, Sir Butch, Attorney Harold. Attorney Harold, meron lang po ako gustong itanong po sa iyo. Ang galang mo, dami po. Di ba po, pag kailangan lang mag-submit sa quarantine ng position paper o comments, kailangan po may kalakip po na ebidensya. Well, depends kung anong proceedings yan. Depends kung anong proceedings. Some, yeah, kailangan. Some, hindi. Strictly speaking, yeah, I would charge you a consultation fee to answer that. Belly Alcantara, kahit kakampi mo ang katwiran, nararapat na magpatawad ka. Kahit kakampi mo ang hustisya, nararapat na maging marahan ka sa iyong pananalita. Here, Bella. Love you. Catalino Santiago, good evening, Prof. Butch at Attorney Harold. Lourdes Cock. Hello, good evening Sir Butch and Mr. Harold. Tanong lang po, for instances, nagkautang ang isang tao at nagkasundo sa barangay at kung una, ang isa sa pound office, hindi po ba mabibigyan ang other? Sadly, nope. Betchay. Ang dinner ko tonight is Petchay. How are you related to Pet Bet? Good evening po. Nice talakayan. Sana po every night may talk show na po kayo, Sir Butch, napalinaw nyo po madiscuss ng topic. Mabuhay po kayo. Nice one. Giko Goody 8. Parang Yahoo Messenger handle mo pa yan 20 years ago. Sa Article 5 na Patients' Rights na Senate Bill ni late Senator Juan Flavier, nasa webpage ng DOH kung ano ang mga gamot at healthcare ang mga pwedeng ipagamit ng pasyente sa kanyang katawan. Alright, good to know. Zinea Arcilia, good evening Sir Butch and Attorney Harold Respishow. Greetings here in Hong Kong. God bless you both. Thanks you, dear. June Belen. Tama yan mga sir, di pwedeng mandatory ang bakuna. Unang-una wala pang gaanong clinical trial. Kaya di pa sigurado kung epektibo yan. Tapos ipipilit sa atin, ano ba yan? Diktadora na ba tayo? Felix Abila, good evening po mga Sir Butch Valdes. Salamat po sa mga katotohanan. Gary Salcedo, Attorney Respi and Prof. Butch, great show! Nice! And you got my name right, Respi. I like that name. Rich Gonzalez, can a draconian law be reversed by millions of Filipino taong bayan people signing against it? Yeah, merong process sa initiative and referendum sa Constitution. You might want to read on that. Merong specific process by which yung taong bayan ay
Empowered to ano.
maggawa
Ito
ng
yung
things.
people's initiative, di ba?
Yeah. All right. And and if you want, Mar Friend's channel, good evening mga sir, watching from Singapore. John Cyril Onato. Hehe, don't worry, attorney. Wala na aswang dito sa amin. Hey, you commented twice. Okay, bye na next. Len Buwan. Don't you think being jailed alone in crowded jails constitute cruel and unusual punishment? If you ask what I think alone in crowded jails? How can that be? Alone in crowded jails? Isn't that an oxymoron? But hey, if you are jailed in crowded jails, is that cruel and unusual punishment? I don't think so.
Well, dapat siguro government must provide, di ba? Something that is for humans, no? They cannot put you in a jail for that is good for pigs, and then kailangan naman merong konting ano tawag doon, humanitarian considerations, di ba?
Buti pa yung pigs libre ang pagkain at saka nahuhusan para maligo. That doesn't happen in jails. Pero if I want to answer technically, I would say that yung cruel and unusual punishment na sinasabi ng Constitution is yun yung mga punishment for crimes. So dapat merong batas na nagsasabi na ang pumatay ng tao, ang punishment ay maputulan ng isang kamay. Yun yung sinasabi ng batas. Therefore, pwede mong invalidate yung batas kasi unusual yung punishment. So, in the first place, yung being jailed is not a punishment. Detention lang yan, i-detain ka para ano. And even the imprisonment, that is the punishment, imprisonment. So, what must be the cruel punishment is the punishment. That is imprisonment, not the conditions within the prison. That's
clear.
the difference.
Very good.
So, it's hard to argue that way kapag napunta yan sa UN maybe. Sa UN.
Glenn, unless merong law that forces those people in government, no, or let's say the Bureau of Prisons, no, to provide ganyan. In other words, dapat for every square meter of jail, ang maximum na pwede ilagay dyan is, let's say, only 10 people. No? Pag,
Per square meter?
Kunwari,
Okay.
I mean, kunwari, for every whatever square meter. Tapos, pag lumalampas na dyan, government must provide for either for another building or transfer the whole penitentiary somewhere else where you can accommodate them. Di ba?
They can start a country like Australia. Truth shall prevail. Good evening po, Attorney Respishow and Sir Butch. Kasuhan niyo na po ng crimes against humanity yung gobyerno. Yung FDA at shoot to kill na sila isa-isa. Mga pasakit sila sa taong bayan at ganid sa kapangyarihan at pera. Ikaw muna, sunod kami. John Cyril na to. Is it your third comment, John Cyril? Mga sirs, alam ko hindi ito kasali sa topic nyo. Ano masabi nyo sa tungkol sa debate ni na PRRD at Carvio Dana sa WTS? Butch?
Well, ako, syempre, I will side with the President. But the reasons being given by President are all, to me, superficial. No? He refuses to mention the fact that that the U.S. is exerting pressure, no? For us, through people like Carpio and their agents, no? Exerting pressure for us to go at odds with China. I do not believe that China intends to invade us. I doubt that. Well, but the one who has invaded us, de facto invaded us, is the United States of America. Because they are now in our EDCA, they have put up military installations inside our military bases. I wonder if that were put to a vote, whether the people will allow it. No? But these are the things that we have done. And I think PRRD should bring this all out. Instead, he is trying to argue it out as to whether or not he is favoring China. What he should do is take the offensive against the America. At the same time, keep China at bay. No? Meron pa? Okay. So, hanggang dyan na lang po tayo.
Yeah, but I'd like to say hi to Joanne, who is my good friend, whom I believe is still en route from a long, long place. So be safe and alive at home. And I'd like to say hi to my sister, Mia, to my brother, Jervil, and Mama, Evelyn. They are watching right now. Mama is my brother. I'd like to say hi to... No, ayaw niya mabanggit yung pangalan.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed our show as I did all the time with Attorney Harold. No?
Yeah.
This will be every Friday. Don't miss out on us. We start about 8 now nag-8:30 kami dahil napasarap yung pagkain namin. Pero usually we'll try to start on time at 8 o'clock every Friday. You will have nobody but Respishow.
The Respishow. And Sir Butch, as usual, is edifying. Next time, I will call you the Fire Edifier Butch. Edifier Butch. That is all. Good night. Happy 7 de Mayo de 2021. Thank you.